democracy in the world, in East Asia and in Europe, and north of us in Canada, devotes a much larger sum to federal, national government sum subsidizing public and community media and journalism. A much larger sum, of a factor anywhere from 40 to 75 times. It was just quite striking when we did it. What we also discovered was, my wife's Norwegian, I go there a lot. It happens to be the country that's the largest per capita subsidies of media in the world. And I'd never seen any secret police. No one had ever been beaten up by cops, to my knowledge. It seemed like an incredibly free society. So we're saying, well, how can that be? Why isn't it like Idi Amin's Uganda? And what we did is we went back and we looked at the Economist magazine, judged its rating of all the most democratic countries in the world that it does every year. The Economist magazine, mind you. And the 6 leading countries, the most democratic nations in the world, based on the most honest government, most citizen participation, most civil liberties, most freedom, were the countries that had the heaviest press subsidies in the world. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Germany, Britain, Japan. We were way down the list below. Then we said, well, maybe that only is so because they crushed all the private media that didn't exist anymore, and they brainwashed the people. Well, in fact, what we discovered, we looked at a group called Freedom House, which is a group that's whole sole job is to monitor government harassment of private commercial news media. And Freedom House, which was set up during the Cold War to monitor communist governments and dictatorships, ranks every government in the world on how free its private media are from government harassment. And Freedom House, we went to their rankings for last year, and guess what? The 6 freest private media in the world are in the same 6 countries that have the heaviest press subsidies. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, the same crowd. They have the least amount of censorship. Even the United States is ranked 21st there, well below all of it, for successful private news media free of censorship. Our point is that when we did this research, it became clear that this is a solvable problem. That we don't have to imitate them or imitate our ancestors in the United States to solve it, but clearly we can come up with subsidies that can give us an independent, uncensored, competitive news media. Newsrooms with journalists competing with each other, working together to break stories, to cover all the beats we need to have covered if we're going to have a credible, systematic, functioning democracy with elections that mean something, where people know what's going on, and people in power are held accountable for what they do. We can do it. And that's where we have to get